Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Army Major Nerson Kiston, and he is here on behalf of the Salvation Army. I got it right.
Oh, you have nailed it. I'm thinking, wow, Lisa, excellent, yes.
Every time, every time. Well, thank you for joining us again. We appreciate you coming in. And, you know, we had you on last month, and we talked a lot about, you know, the Center of Hope, what you do for the community. And I forgot to ask you a question about the Center of Hope. I want you to tell me, when is it going to be completed?
You know what? That's the million-dollar question. No pun intended. Well, we are pretty close. We're probably 75% there with our funding. Okay. We've raised about $14 million on the final phase. We've broken down the Center of Hope project in 3 phases. Okay. As you can see, there's 3 parts to this campus. And so we're in the final stage. We're probably about $5 to $6 million away from achieving our goal. So as soon as we complete our fundraising campaign, we are ready to complete that next part of the building.
And you're on the road a lot, I think.
Oh, we are on the road a lot.
That's good, that's good. And we'll talk a little bit later about how you can help them out with that campaign. So let's briefly tell everyone about what you guys do, Salvation Army as a whole.
You know what? The Salvation Army does 3 critical things. And the number one thing on our list is helping homeless people find hope again.
Right.
Because you know what? Everyone knows someone that's been homeless. I think now most Americans have come to terms with the reality that we're facing a chronic homeless crisis across our nation. And before the pandemic, it was the number one issue, and it still is. So we help homeless people, we help people in addiction. Drug and alcohol addiction has been part of what we've done for the last 150 years, and we help people that have suffered the ills of human trafficking.
Yeah, and I did hear that that's a real issue, even here in Orange County, where you would never know. You would never know that that's a problem, but it is a serious problem. You know, on the screen we have a picture of a woman who is an adult, and I know many times people think, well, they don't need to help me, or they're not going to help me, or they're not going to help my aunt or whatever. But that's not the case. You help all ages and many older folks.
You know what? The Salvation Army has seen a lot of older folks suffering the plight of homelessness, tragically, for various reasons. So yes, we do help all people. In fact, at our shelter currently, we have 3 generations of the same family we're helping.
Oh my.
So, and the crazy thing about it, or the alarming thing about it, is that none of them know each other. So we have a son, a father, and a grandfather at our facility in Anaheim right this very moment in time. And the tragedy is we're seeing generations impacted by the cycle of homelessness.
Oh my.
And that to me is alarming.
So how do you handle 3 different generations all in the same location?
Well, we treat them like we treat anyone. So we don't discriminate. We're not there to work out what we should do and what the politics of it is. We simply just treat the person as we see them. We give every human being their dignity. We give every individual their space, their privacy, and we just help them find their way forward in life. Because at the end of the day, everyone deserves hope.
Yeah. And you have a shelter that we talked about last time, and it is in Anaheim. And you know, one thing I find really interesting, some people say the homeless don't want help. There are many of them that don't want help. They just want to stay on the street. What do you say to that?
Well, I will say there's some truth to that. There are some individuals that don't want help. And we know that from even our own personal interactions. There's some people you can't help. But I would say that percentage of the people that we can't help is very small. I would say it's arguably about 25 to 30% of the population, homeless population, that you can't help. And you're probably never going to help.
Yeah.
But here's the flip side of that. There's 70% and plus that we can help.
Right.
So I've learned in life, you work with those who want to be helped.
Right.
And so we're focusing on 70% of the population that we certainly can help.
Right. Do you have a story where maybe you thought somebody didn't want help, and maybe they didn't the first time you tried, but then you tried again?
Oh, I know the story so well because I see the story each and every day that I walk into my office. And this is the story of Cindy. Cindy's story is incredible. In fact, it took Cindy more than 3 attempts to get her life back. The first time she came in for help, Cindy knew it all. You know, street smart, street wise, didn't want to be told anything, arrogant, chip on her shoulder, pushed her weight around, tried to be the domineering individual she was. And you know what? Within a few weeks, she found herself back on the streets. Cindy came back a second time, a little bit more humble this time, but still with a chip on the shoulder, still arrogant, still know-it-all. Same issues happened, and she lasted a few months longer, and then back on the streets. The third time, Cindy said, I know you won't take me back again. And I said to Cindy, Cindy, you know what? When Jesus said, how many times should I forgive my brother? And the answer was 7 times, because that's what the law demanded. I said, Cindy, Jesus responded 70 times 7. There is no limit to our grace, no limit to our mercy. And so Cindy came back the third time. This time, totally different. Different spirited. And I can tell you, Cindy now has been working with us as a Salvation Army. She's my receptionist at my front of my desk. Her story reminds me each and every day why it's important to do what we do.
Right. That's excellent. That's excellent. Now, veterans. We have lots of veterans on our street, and it's really concerning to so many people. How can they end up there?
Well, when you come back from the conflict of war, when your mental health is so debilitating, where your family consider you dangerous, your loved ones consider you dangerous because of your lack of stability. We see so many veterans. We see so many of them struggling with chronic mental health issues. And we all know them because we see their faces. So yes, we do help veterans, and it is one of the things we appreciate the most, because these are the men and women that have served our nation. It's not enough to stand at the baseball game and salute and cheer our veterans. It's not enough to say we are concerned about their plight and cheer them when we see them. We need to do better.
Right.
And so the Salvation Army is committed to creating spaces to help them in their rehabilitation, mental and physical. Help them to find their place back in our society and once again find hope. So yes, we're passionate about helping our veterans, helping our older folk who've been thrown out of their homes or have found themselves disconnected from their loved ones because of a fight or a feud or a relationship breakdown. We're committed to helping our aging population because we're finding that number is alarmingly high.
Now, I know you mentioned that you don't really get involved in the politics when someone comes into the shelter, but do you have people that work with our politicians to let them know, here are the numbers, we're on the street, we need you to start acting on some of this and help our people?
We are. You know, the Salvation Army doesn't make it public because we're apolitical. So we don't take a political side or have a political agenda. But we do speak to our politicians because they're often asking us what are our thoughts or opinions. And we're not backwards in telling them what we think. So we will tell them truthfully what are the challenges. And it's more than just funding. We need significant resources getting to the front line.
Right.
See, a lot of our resources gets clogged up in the mire of bureaucracy. Here's where the Salvation Army is best. And I said this recently. Politicians can't solve our problem. They're just not tasked to. They're not wired to. They're not structured to. But we're not being arrogant, but we believe wholeheartedly that the Salvation Army has a solution to homelessness.
Okay.
We do. We believe we have a solution.
Well, and you've certainly showed it with your new center and the efforts that you're making so far, so good stuff. Let's talk about how people can help. Now, of course, they could monetarily help you, but there are so many other ways. And there is a thrift store right down the street here in Lake Forest.
Yes, there is. So you can definitely help us. Bring your loved, cherished possessions that you don't no longer need. Bring those outfits that are fitting you maybe a little bit too snug lately.
Or wait, how about too big?
Oh, too big. That's right. If you've lost weight, I haven't. I'm putting it on. But bring those things because the Salvation Army definitely uses it. In fact, every thrift store, 100% of everything that is sold And as generated income goes straight back to helping our treatment centers, people suffering substance abuse.
Right.
So yes, please engage with us. Bring your loved possessions. We will take them.
And then, of course, there's also another way where you can call the Salvation Army and they will come and pick up a lot of things that others will not pick up.
Well, Lisa, unfortunately, when COVID hit us, we had to make some adjustments and changes to our systems.
Okay.
So we're not picking up anymore, but we have many, many avenues and points, just like you said, just down here at Lake Forest, where you can bring your loved possessions and we will receive them and accept them because that would be helpful for us too.
Fantastic. And there's also fundraising that people can do on behalf of Salvation Army where you could maybe get one of those donation boxes, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
There are so many ways you can partner with us in investing. And you know, I said this the last time we met together, Lisa. 84 cents of every dollar people invest goes straight back the front line in helping people as they need it. That's a great return on your investment. And we desperately need people to invest with us and partner with us. And there's other ways. You can give us through your IRA or your DAF. You know, there are ways in which the Salvation Army can help you. So you don't just need to give us a cash donation.
Right.
There are other means in which you can invest with us.
Well, there's also other ways too where people could volunteer.
Oh, we love volunteers. You've got a gift and a skill and you have a profession. You may even be retired or you may know someone that want to work with us. We would love for you to volunteer. We don't just need your financial investment. We need your time. We need your resources, your skills, your mind. So come and help us. And you will have fun with us. We're fun people.
Well, I love it. And you know, on the screen you guys have here, there's a couple of the different things that you're currently looking for. Is you would like people to help at the Anaheim Food Pantry. And if you happen to be sports and music instructors, they are looking for those folks for their after-school program.
You know what, Lisa, you said it better than I do. We need plenty of people, you know, diverse levels of skills, talents, and ability. Don't ever feel you can't help us.
Excellent.
We'll find a way to put you to work.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for all the information. I really appreciate it. If you want more information about anything that we have discussed here, or you just want to know more about the Salvation Army, you can go to orangecounty.salvationarmy.org. We'll be right back.